coverage you can count on. KOMU 8 News starts now.
We will be strong, we will be united, and we won't be intimidated. We won't be scared. That's the attitude that the Jewish people have. That's what keeps us going throughout history.
The California synagogue shooting has some members of the Jewish community putting up a united front against religious violence. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Emily Spain.
And I'm Jim Rick. Thanks for joining us. One person died in Saturday's California synagogue shooting.
Following the attack, Vice President Mike Pence tweeted, quote, "No one should be in fear in a house of worship." The shooting comes after several other deadly attacks at religious gatherings, including the bombings on Christian churches in Sri Lanka and the attack on 2 mosques in New Zealand. Religious leaders are focusing on the new reality of protecting parishioners.
Press Secretary Sarah Sanders talked to reporters today and shared how the Trump administration has worked to stop anti-Semitism and hate crimes.
I think one of the most important things we can do is use the bully pulpit of the president and call out this hatred by name, condemn it as the president has done, and will continue to do anytime something like this comes up.
Sanders says the president, along with the entire administration, quote, condemns that behavior and racism and bigotry and evil and violence in every form possible.
Thousands of miles away, the Jewish community here in Missouri is also feeling the pain. KOMU 8's Maria Bray spoke with 2 Jewish leaders in Columbia about how they're moving forward.
After a shooting at a synagogue in Pittsburgh in October, one Columbia rabbi is taking security more seriously. But after California's attack, he hopes he never has to use it.
Jewish people were like family, so even though it seems like it happened all the way in California, it feels like it hit home.
Rabbi Avraham Lapine of the Mizzou Chabad says the Jewish community will stay strong during this tough time.
We will be strong, we will be united, and we won't be intimidated. We won't be scared. That's the attitude that the Jewish people have. That's what keeps us going throughout history. We can't.
Jean Snodgrass, the director for Mizzou Hillel, says no one should fear being in a place where there should be peace.
Just a lot of frustration over people being targeted in houses of worship.
Lapine says he is increasing security to prevent issues from happening here.
We are in the midst of enhancing our security at the Chabad House with video cameras, lights, and other means as well.
Throughout the pain, Lapine wants to leave people with this message.
To respond to tragedies like this, we increase in acts of goodness and kindness.
It says on Friday they will have a huge Chabad dinner in response to the shooting that happened in California. Live in Columbia, I'm Maria Bray, KOMU 8 News.
Well, we've had some rain, definitely, over the past 24 hours, and now we've been dry for a lot of our afternoon, as expected. Now we just have some rain rolling in here in southern Missouri. This line is actually slowly going to push up to the north, and we're going to see some of that rainfall here a little bit later on this evening. Even by about 10 o'clock, we could see some of those showers here. Maybe even some rumbles of thunder, but for the most part, just rainfall. This will continue and become a bit more widespread overnight by sunrise, and then we have some storm chances already tomorrow morning, and we could even have a bit of hail in some of these systems tomorrow morning. And then as the day goes on, we're still looking at these showers and thunderstorms moving through a bit drier by the afternoon commute on Tuesday. But then as we head towards the late afternoon and early evening, showers and thunderstorms rolling in. Some of these could be on the severe side. We're watching for all modes of severe weather. I'm going to really dig into this entire system in my full forecast coming up.
Okay, thanks, Kenton. Boeing's CEO faces shareholders and reporters exactly 6 months after the first of 2 deadly 737 MAX 8 airliner crashes. Dennis Muhlenberg walked into his first news conference since 346 people were killed in 2 separate crashes, one on Lion Air, the other Ethiopian Airlines. Questions today focus mainly on a sensor tied to Boeing's maneuvering characteristics augmentation system, or MCAS. Muhlenberg says safety is his top priority.
We know that in both accidents there was a chain of events that occurred. One of the links in that chain was the activation of the MCAS system because of erroneous angle of attack data. That was a common link in both accidents.
He says the 737 MAX 8 will return to the air once fixes are made to the automatic safety feature.
A United Airlines flight from Columbia to Chicago made an emergency landing last night in Bloomington, Illinois. The company that operates those flights for United says that particular plane passed inspection. About 50 passengers were on board when one of the two engines failed. KOMU8 broke the story last night. KOMU8's Kasha Carriage spoke exclusively with a passenger on that plane.
Yeah, Jim, we all know the feeling of the check engine light coming on in your car, but what about if it was on your plane? SkyWest Airlines, which operates the flight for United, told me today the mechanical indication that they reported in their statement is basically just that. The spokesperson couldn't tell me what caused the indication, but said the planes are being inspected on a regular basis.
Pilot got on the microphone, said something serious is wrong with the plane.
United Airlines Flight 5228 was able to check out of COU to Chicago last night. But near the end of the flight, the plane made an emergency landing in Bloomington, Illinois, because according to a passenger, flight crew say an engine died.
She yelled, "Brace, brace, brace. Heads down, stay down." And she just repeated that. She screamed that for 5 minutes. Landing was really rough. Worse than I expected. I really didn't think much of it until people started calling relatives.
Fowler said the flight had a bumpy landing, but everyone on board was safe.
Whole plane erupted into applause. People were clapping and high-fiving each other. Getting off the plane took a while because everybody was hugging the pilot and the flight attendant.
The flight eventually left and made it to Chicago later that night.
I mean, I've flown quite a bit. I'm usually not freaked out about flying, but that was definitely one of the scarier moments.
Last night's detour hasn't affected flights out of COU today. If you look here on their website, the same flight is on schedule still. It is scheduled to take off at around 6 tonight, headed for Chicago. In the studio, Kasha Carriage, KOMU8 News.
Here's what's happening right now. Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein has submitted a letter of resignation to President Donald Trump. It's effective May 11th. His run is defined by his opponent of a special counsel to investigate connections between the Trump campaign and Russia. The departure was expected since the confirmation of William Barr as Attorney General. Rosenstein intended to leave mid-March, but stayed on for the end of the Russia investigation.
More jobs and a stronger workforce. What's being done at the Capitol as the 2019 session winds to a close.
Plus, another cyclone hits Mozambique. How the recovery is getting underway.
And we are in a storm mode 3 for about this time tomorrow, then for the rest of our night tomorrow. And that's because we do expect some issues and damage is going to be a possibility. I'm tracking all of it in my full forecast coming up.
And you're taking a live look over the Columbia Regional Airport on this Monday afternoon. It's 5:06. This is KOMU8 News, first at 5. Coverage you can count on.
Welcome to the James Holzhauer Show. 17 days, 1.2 million, and unstoppable.
Something doesn't look right. There's negative 1,000 in front of you.
On Jeopardy. Today at 4, followed by KOMU8 News at 5.
For breaking news and the day's top stories, count on KOMU8 and NBC Nightly News to bring you the complete picture from mid-Missouri, across the nation, and around the world. Every day, every night, coverage you can count on.
Track storms wherever you are. Download the free KOMU8 Weather and Traffic app. Brought to you by University Subaru.
What is Echo Water?
Drinking water systems. Bottled water. Free water testing. Slot delivery. Water softeners. This is water. Give Colonel Papa a call.
Let Colonel Echo's family provide your family with soft, pure, affordable Echo water, serving all of mid-Missouri.
Joe Mockins Mazda is stocked with high-quality pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. Fact. Now is your chance to buy a like-new vehicle at a fraction of the price. Fact. Financing pre-approval is guaranteed. Choose from nearly every make and model. 2014 and newer vehicles starting under $10,000. Come in for a test drive and save 50% on an oil change. You're going to save big. That's a fact. All roads lead to Joe Mockins Mazda at joemockinsmazda.com.
If you've been accused of a crime and are in need of legal representation, contact the team at Carson & Coyle. We defend our clients in all criminal matters and are prepared to present your case to a judge or jury.
Our criminal defense attorneys handle the investigation and legal preparation to protect your interests at trial.
It's important to choose an attorney who can guide you through the criminal justice system.
For over 50 years, we have built our reputation here in mid-Missouri with offices in Jefferson City and Columbia to better serve you. At Carson & Coyle, we are dedicated to protecting your legal rights.
The First Alert Weather Cam is brought to you by the law firm of Harper, Evans, Wade, and Nettemeyer. We will fight for you.
Welcome back. IT jobs are in high demand here in Missouri, and today the state's Workforce Development Committee met to talk about improvements to a job training program. KOMU8's Channing Phillips tells us how the program could help fill some of those open positions.
The Missouri One Start program would make Missouri's job training programs easier for employees and businesses to use. The program would allow the Department of Economic Development to measure performance levels in order to identify what educational resources people need to fulfill empty jobs. The jobs that are currently in high demand are ones that require IT education.
Businesses all across the state have jobs that are open right now, and in Columbia and in Missouri in particular, really low unemployment rates. So if we're going to help our companies succeed, if the businesses are going to continue to grow, they need to have skilled workers, they need to have folks that can take those jobs.
The One Start program and this bill are going to help upskill our workforce, and it's just another tool in our toolbox to be able to ensure that our workforce is meeting employers' needs, and it makes us more competitive with other states.
The bill would change. The program has already passed in the Senate. No one spoke against the bill in today's House hearing. In the studio, Channing Phillips, KOMU8 News.
A simpler way to use city buses could come to Columbia. MU students presented a hypothetical U-Pass system at City Hall today. Councilman Ian Thomas worked with students about getting around town at a cheaper cost. Thomas says the inspiration came from other schools like KU.
There have been conversations about this for a number of years, and I think that the conversations are growing, and I think this student project really backs that up. The student ridership numbers in Lawrence, when they first introduced the system, just kept going up and up every year.
Students predict a 25% increase in ridership with the new system.
Actress Lori Loughlin, her husband, and 15 others pleaded not guilty in connection to a massive college admissions scandal. Loughlin and her husband are charged with 2 counts of conspiracy. Prosecutors say the two paid $500,000 to a fake charity to get their 2 daughters into the University of Southern California. Michael Avenatti, the lawyer that became well known for representing porn actress Stormy Daniels, had an arraignment today in federal court. Avenatti pleaded not guilty to all charges. He is accused of stealing millions of dollars from clients, cheating on his taxes, and lying to investigators. His trial is expected to begin in June.
What's going to happen over the next 24 hours is this cold front's going to eventually be a warm front and push back up to the north. That's going to allow some instability to get our thunderstorms going. I'm tracking all of this hour by hour. Don't miss it. It's after the break.
You plan for everything in life, except the only thing that's for certain. Is it time for a frank discussion with your loved ones about final arrangements? It pays to discuss the details and the price when your family's not under stress. At Bach-Yeager Funeral Chapel, we're not big and corporate. You'll deal directly with our owners. Whether it's a traditional service or a simple cremation, count on Bach-Yeager Funeral Chapel in Columbia, Carr Yeager Funeral Home in Fayette, and Markland Yeager Funeral Home in New Franklin for personalized service with dignity, care, and respect.
Need glasses now? We have a lens lab in every store and can make them for you in as little as 30 minutes.
2 pairs start at just $38.71, and 91% of our glasses are ready the same day. No one makes glasses faster than Imart Express.
Hello there. Welcome to Boone.
Thank you.
I believe in being treated as a person, not a number.
Smaller steps.
I believe in reaching for the stars.
I believe in teamwork.
I believe in storming back.
I believe.
I believe.
I believe.
We all believe in Boone.
The touch can mean so much. I believe in Boone.
I grew up working on my grandparents' farm, so I know what a hard day's work looks like. And you can bet that farming and weather go hand in hand. It takes long hours, but I love every second of it. That's why I show up every day, ready to take on the storm and provide a forecast you can count on.
Closed captioning of KOMU8 News is brought to you by these KOMU8 Salute to Service partners.
Save at the Dream Suite experience at Slumberland, the ultimate place to test drive a mattress. Our 120-night comfort guarantee means you can rest easy. Get the Sealy Gel Memory Foam mattress, just $396. Our lowest price ever. Slumberland.
While scouting the wilds, we spied signs of large predators nearby.
This way!
Lewis! Whoa. Suddenly, we were face to face with the first grizzlies we'd seen west of the Mississippi.
Discover Huck, Finley, and a whole world of grizzly bear adventure. Grizzly Ridge at the St. Louis Zoo. For more information on zoo hotel packages, visit stlzoo.org.
Can we go again tomorrow?
At Slumberland, we've got the styles for all your memories with our low price guarantee. Plus, right now, during our spring savings sale, get up to 65% off throughout the store on your favorite things. Get a little messy and always go for the memories. Slumberland, it's a good life.
A new video released by ISIS media appears to show its leader, Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi. This is the first time he's been seen since he gave a sermon at the Great Mosque in 2014. In the video, he mentions the, quote, battle for Baghouz, which is over, and says jihadists carried out 92 operations in 8 countries. ISIS lost its last town in Syria a little more than a month ago.
Emergency food and aid is being delivered to Mozambique in Southeast Africa today after a cyclone ravaged through the country. The death toll from Cyclone Kenneth has increased from 5 to 38. That cyclone arrived on the country's northern coast last week, bringing storm surges and powerful wind gusts. Since its landfall, it has dumped heavy rain in the area, which has caused floods.
We are very concerned because the water levels keep rising. It keeps raining since yesterday, and a lot of people have been displaced from their homes because we have more than 3,000 houses that have been destroyed.
The disaster is straining resources because the country is still recovering from a cyclone in March.
All right, take a look here at our live look over the Sedalia area on our first alert weather cam. Still a lot of cloud cover out there, although some of us did see some sunshine. Helped to warm us up. For some of us, we've had a bit of a difference. About 60 degrees up near Macon and Moberly, and then around 70 in Columbia and areas to the south of there. You can see we do have this frontal system just to our south that has some showers and thunderstorms actually moving right along and north of this cold front. And this will continue to head our direction as we head into the next few hours, actually into our evening. We're going to have some of this rain rolling into mid-Missouri. You can see a lot of this state is also under a flash flood watch, and that's through Thursday morning. I'll explain why. Coming up, basically multiple rounds of rain and thunderstorms rolling through, going to give us a flash flood risk. Also, what's going to happen, this frontal boundary will also lift up, and by about this time tomorrow, it's going to be right in central and north central Missouri. It's going to be as a warm front, and this low pressure system down in Texas is going to snake up right along with it. That's going to all bring in a lot of ingredients we need for the potential for some strong to severe weather. And so just to start this off, I want to just first say we're in a storm mode 3 on a 0 to 5 scale, and that's going to be mainly due to flooding especially. That's, again, a big risk. I just talked about it. That's one of the things we're going to have a lot of issues with, I think. And then also strong winds and large hail possible as some of these thunderstorms roll through late afternoon tomorrow and in the evening. A relatively low tornado threat, but we can't rule it out. The better chance for tornadoes will actually be in western Missouri and actually down in Oklahoma as well. But take a look at this all hour by hour now. Let's track this out again here. Those showers rolling up to the north along I-70 by about 10 p.m. And then overnight it becomes more widespread, as you can see. Even some thunder and lightning possible, but really the better chance will be after sunrise tomorrow morning. Some of these thunderstorms could even be on the strong side, could have some pea-sized hail mixed in with some of this. It'll be the first bout of some stronger storms for our day on Tuesday. Even some still around noon possibly, but then in the afternoon, drying out a little bit, still some passing showers and drizzle, but for the most part a bit drier until we see this next round roll in. By the middle of the afternoon, really after about 2 p.m., we're going to start to watch these form up over into Kansas and western Missouri, and then they're going to head our direction. As they do so, we're still going to have likely enough instability for them to be potentially severe. And again, we're watching for especially some strong to damaging winds and also large hail with some of these. Can't rule out an isolated tornado popping up with some of this as well. And we're, again, looking at some very heavy rainfall, and not just heavy rainfall with a passing storm. It is sustained rain for hours on end. That's where this flooding threat comes in, this flash flooding risk, aerial flood risk as well, of course. I wouldn't be surprised if tomorrow night we did get some flash flood warnings and some aerial flood warnings. Also can't rely on a severe thunderstorm warning or even an isolated tornado warning. So that's all what we're watching for, all modes of severe weather possible tomorrow night. Then into Wednesday morning, again, it's still raining here with some showers continuing on. And so for total rainfall accumulation, looking at quite a bit again because of the sustained rain. This is just an estimate, but some folks could be seeing around 3 inches of total rainfall accumulation. I would say at most we would see up to 3 to 6 inches of total rainfall accumulation with some of that prolonged heavy downpours. It all depends on how that rate of rainfall and how strong that actually is. So we'll keep you updated, but we do have a flash flood watch again in effect for all of us, and that is from tomorrow going through our day on Wednesday and then into early Thursday morning. It exits on 7 a.m. on Thursdays when that is set to expire at this point. Then as we head into our, again, that's Tuesday here. Then as we head into our Wednesday, we are expecting a bit more of rainfall to roll in, and that will continue on our Thursday too, finally pushing out on Friday. So 57 for our low temperature tonight with these passing showers and thunderstorms. Non-severe tonight, but then tomorrow morning, again after sunrise, we could have some on the stronger side, could have some pea-sized hail there. 72 for our high temperature with that increased risk for severe weather as you head into the evening and overnight hours. We're at 74 on Wednesday, 68 on Thursday. Again, rain continues through much of this week. Much more isolated though by Friday. Dry on Saturday, more rain on Sunday.
Ahead for us, I'm with police on alert outside a synagogue. Houses of worship under a watchful eye after violence strikes several communities of faith. Also, an NBC News investigation, what you need to know about the popular home repair app, Home Advisors, tonight.
LM Co. Home and Scotsman American Heirloom, exclusively at Baumgartner's in Avaz.
It takes a Titan to take the road less traveled. It takes a Titan to make towing look easy. It takes a Titan from Joe Mockins Nissan. While they last, get an in-stock 2018 Nissan Titan with up to $13,500 in total savings. Designed, engineered, and powered in America. All backed by America's best truck warranty. Or choose a Nissan Rogue loaded with safety features and save up to $4,000. All roads lead to Joe Mockins Nissan. Anytime at JoeMockinsNissan.com.
Nobody beats our prices at Menards, so you can save big money from your landscaping to your lawn. Get a clean edge around your landscaping with Mastermark Terrace Board Lawn Edging, featuring a textured wood grain, only $12.99. Keep your lawn weed-free and green with Forever Green Weed and Feed. It controls a wide range of weeds with one application. A 32-pound bag covers 10,000 square feet. $11.99 after rebate. Plus, a Menards gift card is perfect for Mother's Day.
Save big money at Menards.
Family Health Center, primary and preventative health care for the whole family, including dental care.
The providers there are on the cutting edge of the newest things out.
Think of us first when you get sick or if you have a toothache. Also for cleanings and annual checkups.
The collaboration we have allows us to treat their mouth, their mind, and their body.
Including these important services. Family Health Center with 3 convenient Columbia locations. Family Health Center, health and care within reach.
At Joe Mockins, we're more than just dealerships. We're a family, committed to giving back to the community we've called home for over 50 years. The Mockins Drives Education Scholarship Program celebrates excellence in the classroom and in the community. Throughout the year, Joe Mockins will award deserving Mid-Missouri students $1,000 scholarships toward their future education. For details on how to nominate a deserving high school senior, visit MockinsDrivesEducation.com. Making a difference in the lives of Mid-Missouri students. That's my Mockins.
Welcome back. The number of measles cases in the United States has hit a 25-year record. The CDC says there are now 704 measles cases across the United States. The new numbers come days after the CDC confirmed the U.S. has reached the highest number of measles cases since it was declared eliminated at one point back in 2000. 71% of the confirmed cases are patients who were not vaccinated. A new study is shedding light on how pregnant women use tobacco. Researchers studied 3 years of data involving 28,000 women. Pregnant women were less likely to smoke than women who were not pregnant, but there was no difference in usage when it came to e-cigarettes. Experts say more research is still needed to understand the changing patterns. At nearly 70 years old and just over 120 pounds, an Arkansas woman is breaking the granny stereotype. Sherry Mobley turns 70 in July, deadlifting 305 pounds, setting records in her class and division, lifting to offset osteoporosis. She weighs 123 pounds. And she says she couldn't sit around to do normal granny things. Good for her. She says she wants to be able to do 205 squats by October. We'll be right back.
Coming up tomorrow on KOMU 8 News Today.
Severe weather could be possible on Tuesday evening. We'll have the details on what we could see and the timing of those thunderstorms.
Go Como bus route changes are coming next week, and look what transit authorities are doing beginning tomorrow.
Plus, the League of Women Voters are hosting a program that shows how companion animals can help physical and mental health.
Great days begin with great mornings. KOMU 8 News Today. Coverage you can count on.
With Furniture Row employee pricing, you pay what we pay. For the first time ever, our employee pricing is available to everyone. Get 15% off a single item when you spend $9.99 or more, plus 2 years, no interest. Employee pricing on now at Furniture Row.
See it, believe it. The full Hyundai lineup available at Joe Mockins Hyundai with impressive offers on every Hyundai model, all sold with true upfront pricing. View hundreds of new Hyundais on our big board with prices and discounts clearly marked. Every new Hyundai comes with America's best 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty and our 3-day love it or leave it guarantee. Worry-free car buying with true upfront pricing. All roads lead to Joe Mockins Hyundai at joemockinshyundai.com.
Midway Golf and Games is Mid-Missouri's family fun destination. For date night or any night, we offer an 18-hole miniature golf course featuring waterfalls, bridges, and challenges for every member of the family. Our state-of-the-art electric go-kart track is 740 feet of fast-paced excitement. Plus, we offer Zoysia grass and heated driving ranges, batting cages, a par 3 golf course, and much more for a full day or evening of fun. Midway Golf and Games. Come play at Midway.
We switched.
I switched to Chevy.
I switched to Chevy.
We switched to Chevy.
I switched from a Ram to a Chevy.
See why people are switching to Chevy. We love our Chevy. Why do we switch? Just look at it.
Switch into a new Chevy today. Current competitive owners get 20% below MSRP on most Equinox models when financing with GM Financial. That's over $8,000 on this Equinox.
With employee pricing at Denver Mattress, you pay what we pay. For the first time ever, get 15% off a single Denver Mattress brand product when you spend $9.99 or more, plus 2 years no interest financing. Employee pricing on now at Denver Mattress.
University Subaru believes every animal deserves a safe home. That's why we're a proud sponsor of KOMU 8's Pet Corner.
I am here with my friend Fiona. She is a 1-year-old gray tabby. She's very spunky and affectionate. She's very gentle, but she has a very playful personality. And she's sure to make an amazing friend. If you want more information on Fiona, you can go to cmhpets.org.
Welcome back. United Airlines flight from Columbia to Chicago made an emergency landing last night in Bloomington, Illinois. KOMU 8 broke the story last night. Our Kasha Carriage is here in the studio. She spoke exclusively with a passenger on the plane. Kasha?
We all know the feeling of your check engine light coming on in your car, but what about if that was on your plane? SkyWest Airlines, which operates for the flight for United, told me the mechanical indication they reported is basically just that. The spokesperson couldn't say what caused that indication, but said the planes are inspected on a regular basis. A passenger said the flight had a bumpy landing, but everyone on board was safe. The flight eventually left and made it to Chicago later last night. In the studio, Kasha Carriage, KOMU 8 News.
Here's a look at what we're following for KOMU 8 News at 6 o'clock. An NFL draft pick is hurt. Another player is dead after a weekend shooting.
That's coming up at 6 o'clock. Kenton.
All right, remember for tomorrow, we are in a storm mode 3 starting off in the afternoon, continuing overnight. Stay with us.
On air, online, on Facebook.